Let's do something blasphemous. Let's do some blasphemy. Let's ruin the surprise. Let's talk about the secrets of the gurus. What's the job of a spiritual teacher? Many of us like to go at it alone in this life. Solo climb that mountain, that spiritual mountain. Some of us gather a few like-minded companions along the way. That's inevitable, crossing paths by the weaving of intention and chance. But during this great pilgrimage that we should call the search for our life's meaning, the majority of us realize that this meaning can only be found on our own terms. It's subjective. We're not all going to find the same meaning. If there is objective meaning, I don't know where it is. I've never seen it. We can have common goals. We can have common morals, an ethical system that helps our society flourish. But that's a separate issue from meaning. We feel intensely that the courage to go at it alone is the first step to the hero's journey. But most of the time, the trek becomes pretty friggin' exhausting. Am I right? And eventually it seems wise to turn to somebody for guidance. A healer, a therapist, a suspiciously urban part-time shaman / full-time mom. Anyone who might possess the tools capable of freeing us from our failed routines, even if they are charging $40 a session. A psychological Sherpa, if you will, to point the way to a new trail, a new path forward, no matter the material cost. Such a spiritual guide is sometimes called a guru. A lot of the times is called a guru, especially today. Everyone's calling themselves gurus for some reason. But are they authentic? A real guru is a seemingly unique instructor who appears to dedicate their time to the sharing of spiritual experiences and revealing of therapeutic higher truths. But is this true? Is this what they're really doing? Do they know something that you don't? Or have they just realized something that you've forgotten? In reality, what the guru offers is directions towards the struggles of accepting the imperfect conditions of one's temporary existence within a random and ambiguous world. Gurus may at first appear to be the ideal bearers of final truth, but in reality, put simply, they're just the most extraordinary human members of the community. They are so far human that they seem superhuman, supernatural. Even the most recent example of a modern guru, the psychotherapist, can only be of help if they're capable of meeting the patient on their level. Right? Can't talk down to your patients. They're going to walk right out the friggin' door. That's not how therapy works. A bird's eye academic view of a psychological condition is of no use to a suffering patient. They're entrenched. And the fog of war is frickin' thick, man. Throughout history, the guru has appeared in so many different forms. He might wear the garb of a humble teacher, or she may sport the tattered robes of a revered medicine woman, or he may enter the scene with the dramatic ambience of a shining prophet, a shy shaman, an eccentric wizard, or a somber sage, depending on the historical time and place of their emergence. It's an archetype, right? These ancient and contemporary figures always provoked both awe and fear from the masses, a social response to the guru's foreign attitude towards the custom, rules, and traditions normally adhered to in any given community. But unencumbered by cultural expectations, the guru is his own person, intentionally disassembling the traditional codes of conduct and flipping the old value structures upside down with every step they take. Sometimes they get caught in the act, and like Socrates, they're crucified as a nefarious corrupter of youth. Poor guy. Next to his wisdom-filled Trojan horse, the weight of his message, if he can subtly deliver it, comes partly from his speaking the mysterious language of prophecy, a poetic language that can be found within myth, as well as dreams. It's the same language. Myth and dreams are speaking the same language. If the myth is like the outer expression of the human condition's basic struggles, joys, ambiguities, etc., then the dream is its inner voice. The guru does not teach directly. He teaches indirectly. Not by using familiar avenues of dogmatic lecture or charismatic persuasion, but through parable and allegory. The ability to understand the lessons embedded within an allegorical story does not depend on the strength or cunning of a person's mind. Rather, it's something that is met with on an internal level and intuitively felt through different facets of personal experience. In other words, direct knowledge. Gnosis. Many of these parables contain multi-dimensional levels of wisdom, conveying everything from literal to symbolic and all that lives between. What you may personally gain from such an allegorical tool is completely dependent on your personal perspectives and perceptions. In other words, what you are ready for is what will be revealed. Take for a fun example the Sufi teaching of the watermelon hunter. If you've never heard this, I love this story. Once upon a time, there was a man who strayed from his own country into the world known as the land of the fools. He soon saw a number of people fleeing in terror from a field where they had been trying to reap wheat. "There's a monster in that field," they told him. He looked, and he saw that it was a watermelon. He offered to kill the monster for them. When he had cut the melon from its stalk, he took a slice and began to eat it. The people became even more terrified of him than they had been of the melon. They drove him away with pitchforks, crying, "He will kill us next, unless we get rid of him, too." And it just so happened that at another time, another man also strayed into the land of the fools. And the same thing started to happen to him. But instead of offering to help slay the monster, he agreed with them that it must be dangerous. And by tiptoeing away from it with them, he gained their confidence. He spent a long time with them in their houses until he could teach them, little by little, the basic facts, which would enable them not only to lose their fear of melons, but even to cultivate them themselves. Right? So he didn't lie to them. He didn't try to act like a hero. He didn't talk down to them about the fact that they were all idiots for being afraid of a fruit, a melon. No, he agreed with them. And he used that to gain their trust. And slowly over time, he taught them the basic facts that they needed to lose that fear, to understand. He got on their level. So as a perceived guide for others, this teacher must possess strategic patience and compassionate understanding in order to properly deliver the curriculum. The truth alone is not enough to set a person free. Right? Let me say that again. The truth alone is not enough to set a person free. Introducing facts will not change a person's opinion about anything. If you need proof of this, just take a look at American politics. If the guru is too forward about his revelations, he risks a defensive response from his audience and deepens the mystery of his own persona. We don't want that. He must take the long way around, the patient route, in order to avoid getting his own head cut off by sprinting towards his goal. So it's twofold. It's one, to get on their level so that they can be led through the process of understanding, starting from where they are. And two, so they don't fucking kill the guru before he has a chance to teach them something. He succeeds by navigating carefully through the pre-established vibe of the group and plants his seeds from within the walls of social trust. Paracelsus, the great Renaissance magus, very much understood the secret. He warned that the guru should be careful not to accidentally reveal, quote, the naked truth. He should use images, allegories, figures, wondrous speech, or other hidden roundabout ways, unquote. By handing out metaphors and parables rather than answers, the guru replaces himself with material that can be used by the student's own imagination to procure an inexhaustible source of personal meaning. The job of the spiritual teacher is to instruct the student in the tradition of piercing through one's pre-established traditional bias, to get him so friggin' lost that he has to find himself again. The master does not pass the torch of wisdom. He simply shows the disciple how he made fire and points to where he found sticks. His goal is to prove to those of us who feel inadequate that the student and the master are true equals. In other words, the guru tosses the student off the boat to remind him that he can swim. Or if he can't, provides an opportunity for learning how. Here's a little poetry by me. Boat or no boat, just relax and you'll float. Still, be cautious of sharks. They frequent these parts. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more videos. I swear they're going to be coming out more often now. Thank you.